friends, this is Grace and welcome to another video. We are continuing with our April flowers card set. I shouldn't say April because it's already May. I don't know why I titled that in um, my files, but it will be May flowers in YouTube. Anyways, this is card number 6. And again, this is fairly easy card. There's not a lot of techniques that's going to happen here. One of the things that, of course, I wanted to do was to use up the pattern papers, and I'm going to use a few of them here. My idea was to have kind of banners going down in the center, and so I have that butterfly and then the flamingo, and I'm going to cut the bottoms of that into a notch just to have that banner look. And then I also have a solid green as kind of my background paper against that purple card base. I also have heat embossed the word thank you with the green embossing powder and just on the back of a one of the Dear Lizzie papers that have a white backside. So I actually didn't use any of my cardstocks here aside from the card bases, which really makes me happy because I have a lot of papers. Like, what is the reason for me to not use it, right? And so the initial plan was that to have this thank you over with the banner, but then I'm noticing like it needs something, right? It needs an accent. So I'm going to go through my 6x6 pad, and I don't see any big ones, and then I'm going to go through my die cut set. I have put all of my dies, my ephemeras, in a binder, and that just goes in right on the left side of my table, so it's easy for me to pull stuff out. And then I'm auditioning some stuff. I found a 3x4 pocket card with a flamingo in it, and I thought, oh, that would be cool. And then I'm just kind of going through what I really wanted to find was some kind of a flower, or I will find a butterfly. So it was between the flamingo and the butterfly. Here I'm gonna look at this flower, and it's nice, but the colors just wasn't quite the ones I was looking for, and I just wanted like that flower accent. Nothing, no pots, no anything to go with it. So I'm again looking for something, and by this time I think I have found a butterfly and the flamingo. So at first in my head I want to use the flamingo because when am I going to use that again, right? So I'm going to start cutting out just that shape of the flamingo, and then you will see that I would change my mind. But let's cut away first. Now, if this is your first video from me that you have seen, or if you haven't seen a video in a while, I create some cards and I pull out some supplies from my own stash, make my own card kit, and then make 10 cards out of that. And so this helps me to use up my supplies, but at the same time, having just a set of supplies that you're working with actually helps me not take too much time in the creative process because I try to limit my items with whatever I have already pulled out. So that just helps me. Now, again, as you can see, the flamingo is good, but because it was oriented to the edge of that paper, I don't have the whole piece of the flamingo, and it just doesn't look good kind of floating on the edge of that banner. So I'm going to end up using the butterfly instead. And I did use some foam adhesive for this just because I feel like the foam adhesive would bring out that butterfly a little bit more. And I'm going to add that to the center. And I really like how that butterfly has that watercolor effect. It looks like I did it, but really it was a die cut. It was a pre-made die cut. Now I'm going to add a little bit more Nouveau drops on two sides of this card and then call it good. So that will be card number 6. Now we're going to go on to card number 7. I have to say this particular card is, if not my favorite, one of my favorites from this particular card kit. I just love the flowers. I am a big fan of those layered stamps for sure. I think I have 3 of them already, but I just love the details and the dimension that it gives a stamp, like a one dimension stamp. So yeah, I'm a fan. And I did do stamp that, like, of course, off camera, and I added a little bit more of those twine type leaves. I don't know what they're called, but I added that. Now, I could have left it like that, but of course, I feel like it needed a sentiment. Now, this one was kind of like the like afterthought of after I was done here. As you can see, my paper had a lot of the scrap of the stamping of the flowers to make sure I got it right before I actually started stamping them on the card bases or the card fronts. Now, I wanted a card, or sorry, a sentiment that would just span the card front from left to right. And I wanted them big enough, and none of the stamp or the sentiments that I have in the stamp set that I pulled was what I was looking for. So I pulled this very old one from Paper Smooches, but this is still one of my favorites. I just love the combination of the script and also the sans serif. And I just heat emboss what it says today, I mean, celebrate today and every day. And then I'm going to put that. And I also love how the purple comes out really well against that yellow card base. There's really something to be said when you are using complementary colors. And that is just not the art teacher talking here. It's just, it's also the crafter in me. It really makes a difference when we have an understanding of colors, right? And I say that to my students all the time. We have to understand what primary colors are, secondary, and all of that good stuff. Anyway, so this is my card, and I'm going to keep it simple. I'm not going to add anything else because I feel like those flowers are lovely enough. And then we're going to go to card number 8. So with this one, again, I did some pre-stamping before I filmed. Basically, I wanted to use the leaves because it has those leaves there, and I felt like, why not use them? So I created a border going around my card front with the leaves, and I used a green and some browns for those viney effects. Now here you're going to see me do the layering of the card. I'm going to do the flat one, and you usually want to use a lighter color for that, and that is because when you add these details of the card, you want those details to pop up against, because if you were to reverse it where you have the darker one and you try to do the light, I don't think the lights will maybe, like, I guess a specific light. I have not tried that. I just really like how the the details are more pronounced when you use dark, and also it kind of plays in that light and dark, or like the shadow and light effect of an image. So now I have that beautiful flower, and I'm going to cut that. As you can see, I use the back side of a pattern paper as my white cardstock, and that's what I have been using all throughout this card kit, and it just makes me feel good that I'm using up my stash. And that's going to be, the flower will be the focal point of my card here. And then I'm going to add that thank you as my sentiment. Now, I had stamped it on white, and initially I was thinking I'm just going to go and do it as is, leave it as white, but it doesn't have the same effect as that. I believe it's card number 5, where it's good to just put that over the white background. And so I will be adding a frame around that, and I'm pulling out this solid pink paper. This one is from the Spring Echo Park 6x6 paper pad that I had pulled out for this particular kit, and so I'm just going to use that to frame it and then adhere all of that with some ATG gun. I will be adhering the flower with some foam adhesive just because I feel like it needs a little bit of pop to make that stand out against the background. I like how the green has some subtlety to it, and that it just looks, it just makes, you see all of the different dimensions of this particular card. Now I want to know, we are almost done with this particular card kit, but I want to know which one is your favorite. Leave it in the comment section below. Let me know which card for you would be one that you like the best. All right, now we are on card number 9. So this one, I just really like the script fonts and the different words of a mother. So it has the mom, the mama, and the mother. And that's what I'm going to make as my background. And you've seen me do this before. Like I would get a word and I would use that as a background. And that's what I'm going to do here. Initially, my thought was I'm going to use like the same color ink for all three of them, but I actually really liked having different colors in there. Again, this is like my take of making my own pattern paper, and I liked how it worked out. And then because I already had these colors out there from I think it was what, card number 5, from that big stencil flower. So I'm just pulling them all out, and it actually worked out really well because that yellow played well with the yellow card front that I will be using for this particular card. So again, I am just going to be stamping all of those words. I like that the way that the words were written, it has the kind of the line from the front and then the line on the end as well, so I can connect the two, and it works really well. So you're gonna see me do the whole thing because why not, right? And I'm just gonna go through stamping the words. And with this one, I have found that I can do the mom again because that's the one before mama. So I'm just going to use the same one since I already have it in my block. And this is why it's so useful for me to have a clear acrylic block. So I cut down the rest of the video just because you kind of see how that's all going to go. And then I have this heat embossed stamp that says, "You are simply the best. Thank you." And again, this is for a Mother's Day card. And it just so happens that this is the one that I sent for my mother for this year's Mother's Day. I had my daughter pick all of the cards that we were going to send to both my mom and my mother-in-law, and so this is the one that she picked. And I am going to add a border around that particular white paper just because I want it to stand out. And then I'm just going to adhere that flat onto the card. I was debating of the positioning of it, and I ended up going with the center just because I like it that way. I could have put it on the bottom right as well, but I like the center as well. So that's card number 9. Now we're going to go on card number 10. And I don't know if you guys remember, but we still have to finish card number 1. So you're going to see me finish 10 and 1 together. But first, let's start off with number 10. Again, I am pulling my stencil, and this time around, I am going to use a colored cardstock. Now, if I look back and think about this, maybe the white would have been better. It would have shown the colors of that glimmer paste a little bit better, but I wanted to experiment, so why not? I am going to use this kind of green teal paper, and then I am going to put that flower smack in the middle. As you can remember, the first card I had put the flower mostly on the left, and then the other card number 5, I did it on the right side. And so to change it up a bit, I'm going to put this in the middle, and I am using some glimmer paste from Bo Bunny. I've used this before and I really like the shine on it. I am very liberal with how much I am putting in there because why not? I am at the point in my scrapbooking where I need to use up my stash, so I shouldn't, I shouldn't skimp and save all of this tools or products because they have expiration dates on them. Like, some of I don't use rub-ons anymore because I have realized that rub-ons at a certain time period, they don't rub anymore. And then I also don't use a lot of paints too, because I've noticed that paints can dry. So, those are just some of the things that I have learned through my many years of crafting, is that there's just certain things that you just don't hold on to. And I'm going to pull this out, and that's the beauty of a stencil. Ta-da, you have such a beautiful flower. Now I'm going to pull this out of my little cover there. I do use this, oh, I don't know what it's called, but it's supposed to be for the bottom of your oven. And I just use that as kind of my paper, or the thing that would cover my board. And so now I have set both of these items aside to dry. Now I'm going to finish it. First thing I'm going to work on is card number 1. And as you can see, it has that kind of like shine that resembles like a tile. And I really like how that looks. So I'm now going to think of other ways that I can use my Nuvo drops in this kind of technique. So that's card number 1. And now we go on to card number 10. Again, I had set these aside to dry while I was doing something else. And now it's fully dried now. I could have added a sentiment to this one, maybe added it on a vellum or something, but I really like how simple it is without the sentiment. Let me know in the description box below. Would you have put a sentiment on that particular card? And if you would have, what would you have done? So leave that in the comment section below. And here are the close-ups of all the cards that I've created, 1 through 10. And I just love them. I sometimes, you don't do certain things often enough, and then you forget how much fun it is. So that is card making for me right now. It's been a while since I have done cards, and so diving into it again just renewed my love for it. And here are the items that's left over. I still have a lot of paper. Now I combined both packages because there's really no point in me in setting aside the Dear Lizzie one because I've used a few of them. But here's what's left over from the Dear Lizzie. The ones on the left are the full 6x6, and then I have a few cuts of that paper. So this is what's left from that Dear Lizzie pack, and I'm just gonna throw the cover away, and I'm gonna put that with the rest of my Spring Fling one. I have my stencil, I still have my stamps and my embossing powder and my Nuvo drops. So that is it. Thank you so much for watching, and I will catch you guys again in the next video. Bye.